unlike most games, you can have any class you want for any race. Really nice. You're not limited based off a certain race. Like, if you want to be a warrior, you don't have to be a human or anything like that. You can pick whatever class for whatever race you choose, and it doesn't make that much of a difference. It's just those racial abilities which might cater more towards a certain class. So you get a warrior here, 2 swords, dual wield, lots of jumping, spinning, you know, super cool class to watch and play. I really enjoy this character. Definitely doesn't get boring. I played all these through to level 8 just because this is the beta. I don't want to go too far on a character and then get burnt out, so I want to give everything a try. Warrior, lots of fun though, I recommend it. Lancer, this is your atypical class, your tank class. Got your shield and a gigantic lance. Pretty sweet. Actually quite a bit of fun to play. Smashies really enjoys his, and it looks a lot of fun to play. Slayer, gigantic 2-handed sword, gives Cloud a run for his money. I'm not super big fan of it, but you know, to each their own. Definitely big damage, lots of splash damage. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it, but of course, like I said, I've only played everything to level 8. Berserker. This is my favorite 2-handed character. Gigantic axe. Again, lots of splash damage, big hits. At low levels, this Berserker does more damage single target than a Slayer. Again, huge AoEs on the Berserker. You can actively block with your axe, which is really nice. And the skills don't take forever like with the Slayer. With the Slayer, sometimes you'll hit a skill and you can't stop the skills once they go. So once you activate it, if the mob moves, you're going past them and you're continuing along until that skill is done. Berserker, from what I've seen anyhow, does do shorter ones, which is pretty nice. Sorcerer, caster, damage. Get AoEs early on, which this character is actually really good for mob farming, from what I've seen. Apparently, I'm really not sure what the player skill required thing is for. Probably just, I don't know. But pretty fun to play with. I really enjoyed this character too. And then we have the archer. Every game has to have an archer of some sort. Shoots arrows, gets AoEs early on as well. Apparently these are super good in PvP. Again, it's pretty fun. I know Kenny is enjoying his archer right now that he's playing, so haven't really done too much of that. And then you got your priest, heals, buffs, resurrects, does party summoning, and teleports, stuff like that. So, typical priest. Mystic, this one's kind of an interesting one. You can summon pets early on. I don't know if you get bigger pets later on. Didn't look into it that much. But it's basically, this is a support class character. It does little heals, not too much on the heals, but little heals, buffs, debuffs, crowd controls, and of course gets a little pet. So I'm going to go ahead and make my priest here. So on to the customization. Here's your character. It's zooming pretty good. See all the details. Not too bad. And you got your presets down here. Go through any one of these. I'm not going to spend too much time because again this is a beta, so they will be getting wiped eventually. So go ahead and just pick this preset. You can also change, more options to change the face features. Or sorry, this is for the hair, my bad. You can pick your hair, you can change the color of the hair. We'll go with that one, why not? And you got onto the face. This is the face shape, eyes, stuff like that. We will go with... Sure, we'll go for this one, why not? You can also change your skin color as well, so you can be kind of bluish, a little bit of a blueberry going on there. Something a little bit more normal. to almost looks like a blood elf. Sorry for the WoW reference, but what it looked like. You can change the eye color in the adornments tab. So, yeah, lots of different choices. This is eye color and a little bit of makeup. But I'm going to go with this one. And then you got your other pieces. I have no idea what that is. That's actually pretty odd. For each hairstyle you choose, you can have different ear things or like earrings, stuff like that. It all depends on the hairstyle that you have at that time. So I don't want one of those because that's looks like somebody just glued a piece of stained glass to your ear. Then here's your fine details. These are where you can actually adjust everything with the sliders. Get your bone structure, your eye shape, your nose shape and details, mouth, lips, and then of course your ears. Just all this stuff around. Spend quite a bit of time. Not as much as like Age of Conan, where you're spending a good hour, hour and a half customizing a character every single detail till you're happy, which is kind of nice. And then your outfits. These here are your default clothing. Basically, unlike most games, you take all the armor off, you're sitting there in your underwear. This game, this is what you end up in. So, you do not start in this. This is just what, when you take everything off, this is what you end up in. So it's kind of cool if you want to, you know, just walk around town and look on something that's completely different than everybody else. So you got 4 choices. Every class has 4 different choices. Each outfit is dependent on class and race, I think. Like it's all a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead, pick this one. This looks pretty sweet. And again, you can just look at the kind of the details in it already. And you got to remember though, this is without HD textures yet. So it's going to look wicked. And here's your voice settings. You can be a husky lumberjack female, or a Helga, up to a 12-year-old Japanese schoolgirl. Now, I'm going to go with something a little bit more average, I guess you could say. So, go ahead and pick our name. I am Wooter, so we will go with Wooter.